It's cheap and kinda old-fashioned. It's not meatloaf, it's lentil loaf. Cookin Cheap was a show I watched all the time on my local PBS in the 80s and 90s. One time the hosts, Larry and Laban, made a plain and fancy meatloaf. Well, that plain and fancy meatloaf inspired me to make this delicious remix hot out of the oven. I'm definitely gonna pump up the fancy, but I'm also gonna pump up the cheap. The cheap part is easy. We're using lentils instead of meat. But before we need those, saute 2 cups of chopped mushrooms and a cup of chopped onion in a tablespoon of olive oil, about 10 minutes. Something that'll give this sort of a meaty flavor without the meat is a cup of walnuts. Throw those into a food processor with a cup of quick cooking oats and blitz away. This is what your walnuts and oats should look like. Add them to a large bowl along with the mushrooms and onions and 3 cups of cooked lentils. Now bump up that flavor with a 1/4 cup each of steak sauce, tomato paste, and nutritional yeast. The nooch, as I like to call it, adds a little something something. I also love to add a teaspoon of liquid smoke. Finish up with salt, pepper, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Now grab your potato masher and have at it until half of the lentils are mashed. We're gonna leave the other half whole for texture. Now give everything a really good stir and then pack it into a buttered loaf pan. I'm not exactly sure what made Laban and Larry's meatloaf fancy, but I know how we're doing it. A red wine glaze. Mix together 3 tablespoons each of red wine, tomato paste, and brown sugar. It's thick, it's rich, and yes, she's fancy. Pour half of the glaze over the loaf and then put everything in a 400-degree oven. After 45 minutes, add the remaining glaze and cook for another 15 to 25 minutes. When that glaze turns a deep red with those crusty edges, dinner is served. Thanks so much, Cookin Cheap, for inspiring the OG plain and fancy meatloaf. And thank you for inspiring a retro recipe remix I can now call fancy.